All right, welcome to math today. We are still working on angles. We're going to practice measuring one, and then we're going to work on drawing angles. So, first, everyone needs your protractor in your hand. You're not going to need your pencil for a minute. So get your protractor. I'll get mine. I know mine looks a lot different than yours. But remember, on yours, the very bottom, everyone take a look. Some of you need to put your distractions away. All right, make sure your protractor is facing the right way up. If it's the right way up, when you lay it on your desk, the numbers won't be backwards. Okay, make sure it's the right way up. All right, where do we line up the vertex of our angle on the bottom of our protractor? Abby?
Like, the vertex of our angle is like...
The vertex is the point where both rays come out of, so where do we put that vertex?
Like the half of the circle.
Yeah. There's a spot at the bottom of yours. You've got a little half circle with a line. That points right at your vertex. All right, now does anyone else remember? There's one other important thing. Once you line it up on your vertex, okay, so here's my angle. I've got the middle on my vertex. Okay. Obviously, this isn't right. How can I not measure my angle like this, even though my vertex point's lined up? Cadence?
Because there's these little lines by the vertex.
Oh, I have to line up one of the rays of my angle with one of the sides of my protractor. So this measures nothing. So you have a choice here. I could either line up my edge along this side and put my vertex down here and measure it this way, or it wouldn't be wrong to put your protractor on this side, line it up with this ray, and measure your angle here. Okay, you'll get the same answer. That's the beauty of a protractor, okay? So let's just pick a way to do it. I'm going to say we're going to do it this way, okay? So everyone, let's line our protractor up this way. Yes?
I still don't know how to line the line.
Well, we're going to line it up. I'm going to come around and check everybody. That's why we're practicing. You've only done this twice. All right, so first up, everyone with me. Line up your little center circle with the vertex corner. And then you need to make sure the bottom straight edge of your protractor lines up perfectly with that ray. So you have two things to check. Number one, that your vertex is right there in the middle. Number two, that you line up with that ray. There's my protractor keeps sliding. Let me grab a magnet to hold it in place better. All right, friends at home, if you don't have a protractor, just do your best to follow along, okay? I'm going to pause you for a minute and check to see if we're right. Oh, all right. So when you've got your vertex lined up at the vertex point in the center of your protractor, am I lined up correctly to measure that angle, Abby? All right, everyone look up here. Someone different, tell me why. If I measured like this, why wouldn't I get a good answer? Cadence?
It's not lined up.
It's not lined up. I've got my vertex where it goes, but I have to line up the edge, the straight part, right along the line, like I'm going to measure a line, okay? So once we do that, we're lined up, okay? Now, is this an acute angle or an obtuse angle? Hayden?
Acute.
Acute. So we're looking for our small numbers. I'm going to pause again. All right, sorry, friends at home. All right, so we are looking for our small numbers because this is an acute angle. So I am lined up. I am seeing that I'm between 40 and 50 and 130 and 140. Since it's acute, which numbers do I need to look at? Abby?
Smaller numbers.
Smaller numbers. All right, who's got a good read of what you think the angle might measure? We're looking at our small scale. I'm going to wait till more than two people have tried. Everyone needs to look at your protractor. That's how this works. If you don't try, you're not going to learn. All right, Dylan, I know you've already given me your answer, so what did you come up with? 54 degrees. All right, let me look here. Mine's a little hard to use. All right, what mine is showing, though, it looks like it's between the 40 and the 50.
Yeah, so 45.
Are you guys seeing that?
Yeah.
All right, line it back up, take a look. You have to line it up and take a look. If you don't do that, you're not going to know the difference, okay? So, do this with me, step by step. You guys have, on your protractor, you have like a half circle with a line. That goes right where your vertex is, okay? That's your first step. Second step, you have to line up the edge. Once your vertex is there, you can turn your protractor. You line your edge right along one of the rays. Then you look to see where your line lies. Mine is way less detailed than yours, but I can tell it's between 40 and 50 degrees. Has to be between there. So I'm looking around. Some of you don't have your protractor on the line. It's just floating in space. All right, so friends at home, it is between 40 and 50 degrees. We're going to have to do some practice in here to figure out where. I'll be back. Okay, we all have our protractors lined up. I think all of us could tell that we're a little bit closer to 50 than 40. So now, who has an estimate? What do you think is a good estimate of how many degrees? Angie? So it needs to be a little less than 50. So what's a little less than 50? That's okay. We're all just learning. Abby?
47 degrees.
47-ish? That'd be good. Did anyone come up with a slightly different answer? Hayden?
48, 49.
48? Yeah.
48.
Okay. So I would say anywhere from like 47 degrees up to 49 degrees. You'd probably get the credit for that. Okay. Any questions? Okay. Measuring angles is kind of hard at first. Drawing angles is actually pretty fun. Okay. So we are going to try to draw an angle. So we're going to flip to the next page and we'll practice. All right, friends at home, if you have a protractor, go ahead, grab it and practice with us. If you don't, just watch and imagine what you would do if you did have one, okay? I'm sorry if you don't. We are not going to even do the problem they have first. We're just going to practice an easy one. We're going to make an acute angle, like up here on the top of your page. And we're going to make a 35-degree angle. We're going to do that first, okay? So go ahead and write 35 degrees. We are on the top of the next page, if you guys are lost. 35-degree angle. All right, you ready for step one? Step one, you have to make one ray. We all know what a ray is. A ray is a line that has a line segment point on one end, an arrow on the other, okay? But we should be neat, okay? We're not going to be sloppy. My line shouldn't look like that. That is not a straight line, okay? So how do we make a straight line? We're all not skilled at doing that. Hudson?
To make like a good line, you could like do this and then like do that.
Ah, yeah. Protractors are made to have this nice straight edge, just like a ruler does. So you can kind of use this like you're using a ruler to make a line. So first step, you make a point. We can all do that. Everyone with me? First step, draw a point. Madeline? Make a point. We're going to make a 35-degree angle, so get your protractor ready. All right, next step. Off my point, I need to draw my ray. So I'm just going to line up my straight edge with my point and just make a straight line. It doesn't need to be very big, but now we've got a straight line. And now I can put my little arrow on that end. I've got my first ray. That is step one to drawing an angle. Any questions so far? So you make a point. Use your straight edge on your protractor to draw a line. Add your arrow and you have your ray. Chloe? It doesn't need to be very long. All right, last step. You guys ready? Okay, this really isn't too bad. We're going to line up our protractor along the ray just like we do when we measure an angle. So the middle that you have on yours with the half circle in the line, put that right on your point and line up your line across the bottom. Everybody do that now. I'll say it again. Line up the center of the bottom of your protractor right on the point we drew. That's going to be the vertex of your angle. And then the straight edge, make sure it goes straight across that line you just drew. Everybody there? Okay, there's only two important parts. I'll say it one more time. You got to listen and really think what I'm saying. You all know the center point on the bottom of your straight edge. That points directly at the point you drew. Any questions with that step?
I just got it in the middle. I just got the line in the middle, but I don't know.
The line in the middle, Angie, just has to line up with the point you drew. That's it. Okay? The only other thing, you need to make sure you're not like this. If you've lined up in the middle but you're not lined up on your line, it won't work. So your vertex line in the middle points at your point, and then you make sure the straight edge is on the line. Any question? We only have one more thing to do now. We know we want a 35-degree angle, so I need to look over here and find 35 degrees. Okay, we know it's an acute angle. Here's my 30. Here's my 40. So where am I going to find my 35? Peyton?
Like about in the middle of them.
Yeah, right about in the middle. So I'm going to go in the middle between 30 and 40 and make a dot on the outside.
I don't see that.
I will repeat it again. You're going to look on the right side, Angie. Look on your inner scale for your small numbers. Look in between your 30 and your 40. We know 35 is halfway in the middle there. And then you put a point right about where that number is.
Like where this 30 is?
35. We're making a 35-degree angle. All right, now you can take your protractor off. Any idea how we do our last step? No? What do you think?
Put your protractor to that point and then draw it from there to your right.
Yep, I need to connect the point I made to the vertex, and that's it. So if I can line up my 2 points, everyone see what I did? I just found the dot that I just drew, lined it up to my vertex, and I draw a line. And I just made a 35-degree angle. Okay, so you draw your little arrow at the top.
Now we have to do 300. 130.
All right. So we do need to pause now. We've got to go to special. Friends at home, I know this has been a hard group of lessons to learn without protractors. Thank you for listening and doing your best. All right? I'll see you soon.